What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to another edition of MVP Sports Live right here, where we talk about all the sporting news on Twitch and YouTube, wherever you may be watching us. I'm joined, as I always am, with my fellow co-host, my beautiful co-host, Dave Oster. Dave, how you doing?
Feel pretty good today. Leaning back a little, just kicking back.
Leaning back, watching WoW, you chilling, playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, just your average Thursday. It feels like a Thursday.
Yes, it feels like a Wednesday, actually. But yeah, you're right. It's a Thursday. To me, it's felt like a Wednesday all day. It's felt like a Wednesday. It's
garbage day. That's the only reason I know what day it is, Ricky.
Speaking of garbage day, you want to hear the stupidest shit my dad said yesterday? Yesterday morning, my dad wakes up, and I'm at the kitchen table, and he all excitedly is like, oh, today's Wednesday? I go, yeah. He goes, you know what that means? And I'm thinking, like, shit, is it like someone's birthday I forgot? And I'm like, no, what? And he goes, tomorrow's garbage day. I'm like, why? Like, is garbage day something to get excited over? Like, woo, let's go, it's garbage day.
Welcome to adulthood.
Welcome to adulthood. But Dave and I are here to talk about some interesting sports news, things that we want to talk about, anything that you guys want us to talk about. I got NBA football and college basketball on the mind for today. Although there was some baseball stuff going on too. Schwarbo is gone. He's going to be out of Chicago. I think it was the Sox with Rondon, and is the guy's name Marza? I don't know. I'm not a Sox fan. Sam in Twitch chat can help me out because I know he's one of the Sox fans we've got. But there are some free agencies going around, but no one's really signing anywhere yet. But we got a ton of stuff to talk about today. Before we do, if you're not in the best community in the universe, go ahead and join the MVP Discord today. Link down below in the description, or exclamation Discord gets you into that community. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you go ahead and do that. Again, link down below, or exclamation Patreon into Twitch chat gets you into that link so you can check it out. We're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids, but we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. And thank you to our Patreon sponsors, Pat Hill, Phyllis, Sean, almost forgot that, and then Sam Nomar Mazzara. That was the name I was thinking of. I know that it was put in the Discord the other day. Rodan and Marzana. But Dave, the biggest news we've got today, we're talking back-to-back Lakers, baby, is the top two dogs. They got signed. Number one, LeBron. He signed an extension that'll bring him to 2023. AD now signs from ESPN, they're reporting it to be what? A 5-year, $190 million max contract with the LA Lakers. And this means AD is staying, 5 years from now would put him through the 2024 season. So 2023, 2024 would be the last year of that 5 years. Dave, the question with this one is, what does this mean for the Lakers' future? Because this one doesn't line up exactly, I don't think, with LeBron's deal. It's close, but not exact, I don't think, years-wise.
LeBron's got the guaranteed years, and then AD, I think, has a player option in his final year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just means that, hey, we've decided that we're just going to keep these two together for the long haul. Well, I say that, and we just watched two stars get traded for each other yesterday, both under long-term max deals. So, you know what? Fuck, it doesn't mean anything, Ricky. That's what it is. It's just these guys are going to get their money. The team doesn't really matter too much. They're still the Lakers. They're still the best team in the NBA. They are the reigning champs, and it does kind of mean that, yes, Giannis is staying in Milwaukee.
I still don't know. That one still is like he can sign, but yet again, until next year happens. Sign and trade can happen, but the thing I looked up is, so LeBron's deal was he is a free agent after the 2022-2023 season. AD, if he does not take the player option, would be a free agent in 2023-2024. So for me, I'm thinking that's the thing with me coming into this is they're not exactly to the fact of where, hey, we're going to end at the same time, do this whole thing again. because one of the things we were thinking is, hey, before LeBron signed his deal, everyone was thinking, well, is AD going to take a 1-1? I know earlier this week we mentioned, you were the one that mentioned a 1-1 possibly for AD. Like, hey, we'll run it back next year. I'll decline my player option, and then you and I hit the free agent market at the same time. More so also, like, you see players do that to the fact of, well, I don't want to be the one to sign a, let's say, 4-year deal when you're signing a 1-1, because then if you go ahead and decide, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore, great, I'm fucking stuck here then, and you get to move on. That kind of, I think, is the thing I look at here, is because we talked about the LeBron deal being, well, lining up with 2023 because everybody, all the blog boys and even us are like, oh, well, maybe he's going to go play with Bronny. That opens him up to sign at wherever Bronny signs with or gets drafted to if the NBA cancels the one and done. Is there a possibility that that could happen, Dave, to where at the end of LeBron's deal, because that's what I'm thinking, LeBron leaves at the end of his deal. I don't think he's going to stay a Laker forever. Is this something where AD's like, well, you know what? I want to take the most money most years I can get, so I'm going to get the 190, the max contract. And is this for the Lakers side? Hey, even if we lose LeBron in 2023, we still have AD for one more year, so that then I know it's like, 4 years down the line, the team can either use it as one of two things. Hey, we have AD, we're still a good team. AD, we're going to try to hit someone next year in free agency. Or the fact of, you know what, maybe LeBron leaving, that sends them into a little bit of like, holy shit, the dynasty's over, and they could try to trade Anthony Davis at that time. I'm not throwing the trade rumors out there. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Like, is it crazy to think that this was something where the Lakers are like, hey, we can still have AD if LeBron leaves when his contract is done in 23?
No, this was an Anthony Davis decision.
Okay.
He had the option on the table for a 3-year, 4-year, and a 5-year deal. Mm-hmm. According to the sources, he chose to go with the longest term deal. He likes LA. He likes to play there. The living in the area, everything about it's good. Mm-hmm. You might as well enjoy the ride with LeBron James. And yeah, if anything happens where he doesn't like it, demand a trade. No big deal. You know, that's the crazy thing. It's like none of these contracts mean anything. None of this is a commitment to the player on that team. It's just these guys deserve to get paid. Whoever pays them doesn't really matter. For him, it's a preference to be in LA for right now. When LeBron's deal's up, we'll see what the situation looks like. But I'm with you. There's no guarantee that he'll be there for that final year or two on his deal.
Now, dumb question here, because yet again, I am not a Bobby Marks. I'm not a contractual mogul or a genius when it comes to NBA contracts. Sure. Is there like is this the only way he was going to max out the money that he would get? Like, there's no way he could have said, I'll take a 3-year deal here. Then let's see, after 3 years, that would line up with LeBron. They'd both hit the market at 2023. And even if it's like, okay, we're going our separate ways, we're not going to re-sign with the Lakers. By doing that, he couldn't get a bigger contract with another team, right? This was the only way for him to maximize his money right now.
I guess. I honestly don't know. From what I had heard before the signing, everything sounded like if he did a 1-1, he would be eligible for a larger scale max deal. But again, I think no one knows what's going to happen with contracts and the cap in the NBA with COVID and losses from this year, losses that from this upcoming season as well for being a limited schedule. So if the fear is that, hey, there won't be as much money available as we'd hope for on the caps, then I'll lock in my number now and we'll play this game down the road. But yeah, for me, it just didn't make that much sense. I don't get the play for the 5-year deal.
Yeah. The other thing Sam brings up in Twitch chat is he says the biggest question, are the Lakers still going to get a third star to team up with LeBron and AD? Now, Soapy in Twitch chat right after said that Soapy doesn't think the Lakers need a third star. Do they need a third star? No. They've proven last year that they can win a title. They have the firepower to win a title without that third star. However, we had mentioned this when LeBron, yesterday? When it was LeBron signed his extension, I had mentioned, like, when you brought up the 1-1, it was like, oh, well, they could do in one of the most anticipated free agency classes for next year. AD hits the open market, maybe declines his player op. Oh, well, we can re-sign you, but then it allows them to bring in someone else. Is that kind of is that canned now because LeBron's locked in, AD's locked in, and really they're not going to have enough money to bring in someone else?
Yep, 100%. This is their tandem, their ride or die. Okay. Plus, I mean, the disrespect to the Caruso out there, like talk about a third star. They got a third star on that team.
Oh, the Caruso, I'm trying to think. Disrespect to Montrezl Harrell too. He's going to step up too this year, right? For him? No, he's not. I'm trying to think. Did KCP re-sign with them?
Yes,
right? Yeah. So KCP, he played up. Nick's Josh, I will never put love on fucking Kuzma's name because he's got to be thanking LeBron every single day for that ring. He's got to thank LeBron and AD every single day for that ring because he didn't deserve it. Didn't deserve it.
Kuzma's ass getting traded.
Yeah.
That's honestly the answer. It'll be a package centered around Kyle Kuzma getting moved to add on a third star, quote unquote, but it might be an aging star. You know, we joked about DeMar DeRozan leaving. We joked about, Aldridge going somewhere else maybe, but, someone in that vein. What if it was a Kuzma for, I don't even know. But yeah, the point is they're not going to be able to do anything for agency because of that. They're locked up. They're going to be able to move pieces for other pieces, but by no means will they be able to land a star in free agency now.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a Lakers fan, obviously you're part of me feels like yes, you should be happy about this, but I also feel like most Laker fans would this news comes across and they just go, all right, business as usual. Move on forward. It's nothing to get super excited about because you didn't think AD was going to go anywhere anyways. Also, I'm just saying it right now.
Bulls fans.
What?
I'm with those delusional Bulls fans.
Hey, I'm starting it right now. The campaign for when LeBron leaves in 2023, Bulls are opening the trade package, bringing AD home. They're going to trade with the Lakers, bring him home, bring him to a championship team in Chicago because AK is going to be building it. We're just going to need that one guy. We're going to need the one guy, and AD is going to bring it to come home to Chicago. 2024, 2025 is when he will be playing for Chicago. Let's book it. AD's got to come home at one point, right? He's got to come home and play for Chicago at one point.
It really didn't seem that way with his comments.
I mean, at the All-Star break when I was in Chicago, he said some nice things. Said that's what got the rumors circulating, I should say, with Chicagoans.
I mean, he literally was like, I'll be traded to 29 other teams, not the Bulls. And I was like, oh, okay.
No, but I'm not talking about the trade. I'm talking about when he was talking about his free agent. Yeah, but when he was talking about his free agency, it was more of
he goes out of his way to exclude a team from where he would want to play at, Ricky. Why do you think that free agency would magically make it different?
Because we made a difference. We fired Garpax. We're making the difference, Dave. We're going to be a winning franchise again. We drafted Patty Williams, baby. Let's go.
We will see. And also don't call him Patty Williams.
I saw it in the comments, and I kind of like it. Patty Williams, baby. No. What don't you like about Patty Williams?
Because there's only one Patty in the NBA. It's Patty Mills.
Yeah, but he's old. He's old news. We got the new Patty coming in.
Sorry.
Is it like a Mitch Mitchell kind of thing? There are some people that are like, don't call him Mitch. It's Mitchell Trubisky. That was the whole big thing when he came in from the draft.
I believe that was himself saying that.
Yeah, don't call me Mitch. My name is Mitchell. But yeah, this is something for the Lakers. Not a lot to talk about, but it is the big news. They're going to win more. They could win more titles. I'm not going to say they're definitely going to because there's a lot of firepower in the West. They are favorites, but there's a lot of firepower in the West. We did never see a Clippers, Lakers playoff matchup. Maybe that's different because of not the bubble, and who knows when they come into it. And also the Miami Heat get better. The East is getting better. But they've locked themselves down. They're going to be a good team.
Chance to watch LeBron James on Road Tripping?
No, I did not.
It was excellent. It was an excellent episode.
What are you talking about?
I caught a couple highlights yesterday, and then I got to watch it all this morning. It's really good. Very laid back LeBron, just casually talking.
Is there anything important that he hit? that was like, oh my God.
I mean, lots of it. Thought lots of it. Go watch it.
It kind of seems like you're like, it's one of those like yesterday for the wrestling where it's like, Ricky, did you watch Dynamite? No, not yet. Okay, not gonna like. I'm getting that vibe from you. Yes, I have.
Dynamite?
But like
The Sting.
Yeah, but like I'm one of those to where it's like you. It's almost to where it's like you don't want to tell me what he talked about.
It's a really good conversation.
Okay, I'm a little confused because now I don't know like what he's talking about. But we'll move on. Our next thing going into football. What did you say?
It's just LeBron James talking about basketball, the bubble, and like the whole BLM movement and how that all went down.
Oh,
That's all.
Okay.
That's
So
all.
just a good conversation.
Yeah.
Next thing we're looking at, Dave, is the Steelers played yesterday.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Hey, man, Juju won you your game, right?
I won one, lost another.
Yeah, won one, lost the other. You and I are now playoff opponents for the next 2 weeks in the MVP league. But the reason why we're bringing up the Steelers today is it was yet another game where before the game, everyone was thinking, all right, Steelers are gonna fucking kill the Ravens, Dave. No Lamar Jackson, no Mark Andrews. On top of those two, the Ravens have a million other players that are out via COVID. Like, this should have been a game that, like, when I watched the Pat McAfee show yesterday, Mark Slaret said, he's like, so what do you got today? He goes, oh, Steelers by 20. Steelers should kill the Ravens. Well, they didn't, Dave. It was a 19-14 game. Mike Tomlin had this to say after the game. It was really junior varsity, to be quite honest with you. It was all in 3 phases. We couldn't run the ball effectively. We needed to. We dropped too many significant passes, very catchable, makeable passes. We didn't make significant plays in the special teams game. Our kickoff coverage unit wasn't good enough. We turned the ball over. We gave up big plays in big crucial moments on defense. Can't have it. Now, most people are thinking the Steelers have a really good chance in their next 4 to go undefeated, Dave. To be the third team, but second team since the Patriots in our lifetime to go undefeated in the regular season and begin your quest or their quest for a perfect season overall. The question I want to throw out, though, is are the Steelers good enough to not even win the Super Bowl to make it to the Super Bowl, Dave?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, the whole complaint is they play down to bad teams. Well, you know what? They don't play bad teams in the playoffs. So doesn't that kind of defeat that whole thing?
See, but I'm looking at it to where, like, I don't think it's not. This isn't a Baker Mayfield thing or a reverse Baker Mayfield thing.
But Baker only beats bad teams.
Yeah, this isn't the reverse Baker of like, oh, they played down because like they played the Titans and the Titans weren't a bad team and they started like to me. I feel like this team, if they don't do something, and I'm not saying like it's not Mike Tomlin's fault. Usually in the past I've blamed Mike Tomlin, but like I absolutely love that he threw his team under the bus here. And said, basically, he did this was Bush League. Yeah, this was Bush League.
Said that loud.
And, like, the thing that I fear is if I'm a Steelers fan, I would be kind of worried because in the playoffs, depending on what happens, because it looks like with the COVID stuff, the NFL might step in and say, we're going to go to 8 playoff teams on each side because they've made that, like, statement a few weeks ago of depending on how games are canceled and moved around, they may add an additional playoff team, which would mean the Steelers would have to play in their first round game. That opponent, as of right now, if the season ended, would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be the Raiders. So they play the Raiders. If they start slow in that game, they could possibly win against the Raiders. But like the next game, if they're playing either the Titans, the Bills, or the Chiefs, like, I look at any of those teams, more so the Titans and the Chiefs, and I go, if there's a AFC championship game between the Steelers and then the Chiefs or the Titans, I may have to go against the Steelers because if they start out slow for another game or in that game, Patrick Mahomes can start out quick. That Chiefs team can basically, boom, make it a 2-score, 3-score deficit before you even have time to blink. And then the Titans right now, they're a team that it seemed like, oh, they're going to slope, they're going to like go down. And then Derrick Henry is now reemerged, and that team looks like they're on the way up right at the right time leading in. So like I look at the Steelers and I go, I don't think they are good enough to win the Super Bowl, not even get there, because I think when they play the Chiefs, play the Titans, they're going to get outdone in the playoffs because they're going to start out slow and have to be playing catch up the majority of the game.
Is there something about them where you think that their offense can't function in the first quarter or first half of a game? Or
no, it has nothing to do with like, oh, they need this guy or this. It's just I've seen for now it's basically ever since the Titans game, it's just been they start out slow. Like I don't know if it's something to where after being 11-0, you kind of like take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, you walk in and like we always look at like, oh, did they overlook the opponent and stuff like that? Like, I don't know if it's something like that, if it's something mentally, if you need to like rejuvenate the players. But
almost like if they had a bye week that they didn't get fucked out of, they would be in better shape now.
That is an interesting point. Their bye week was very early, a week 4 bye, that was earlier than everyone else's. So like,
and it wasn't really a bye week because they didn't find out it was a bye week until a Friday.
Yeah, good point. So they were practicing all week. Then it's like, great, you have a few days off, and then boom, back to practicing for the next one. So I mean, that's a good point. That plays into it, but like,
and they got strung along this week for the game on Thursday, the game on Sunday, the game on Monday, the game on Tuesday, the game on Wednesday in the afternoon start time slot, which is something that almost never happens. So again, I don't put any stock into that. I don't give a shit about what you say. You can call them the worst 11-0, 12-0 team in the NFL history. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that they're one of the best teams to ever play in the NFL because they made it to that point. So when you say, hey, they start slow, that's going to scare me, don't give a shit. What scares me is the fact that they struggled in the red zone against a depleted Ravens defense. The fact that they were down there. They marched on the field. Handful of plays right off the bat in the game. No problem. Guess what? Turnover in the red zone. And that was a go for it on 4th down because that was like a we don't give a fuck, we should win this game anyway moment. Yeah. And I'll give Tomlin and Ben the credit for the play call there. Just be like, yeah, it's 7 minutes left in the first quarter. We're just gonna go for it on 4th down. Like 3 points shouldn't make a difference this game. Might as well just take a shot in the end zone. The play got broken because Juju fell down in the end zone, I believe. That was that play. It was either Juju or Ebron fell down in the end zone on his route. So the play got broken, and Ben just kind of back foot pedaled and just lobbed up a lollipop for them to intercept. Next time down the field, stopped in the red zone again. And that's my concern is that red zone offense. They can move the ball, no problem. This is a team that is offensively gifted. They've got weapons left, right, and center. Now that Deontay Johnson's back 100%, Ebron obviously hit or miss with the stone hands scenario. But like they've got weapons out there. So my concern goes back to now that they lost Bud Dupree, that defense, which has been elite, is now a question mark. They're not going to be bad by any means, but it's like, how much of a next man up mentality can you have? Obviously, look, they're still the best or the second best team in the NFL right now. When you're like, I think the Bills or I think the
well, don't give a shit. Like it's the Bills wouldn't be one of those. I'm thinking more of like the Chiefs and the Titans. Those are the two teams I'm thinking of because to me, I would be worried about the slow starts. I would be worried about not getting it done in the end zone because those are important. I mean, you said the finishing when you're in the end zone, and I thought in my head, I chuckled a little bit, the John Madden of like, you can't score unless you put it in the end zone. Thanks, John. What else you got to say? But like, I feel like if it's Chiefs Titans,
Connor's not there.
Good point. He was out. He was out yesterday.
Not having him kind of sucks. I mean, Benny Snell, obviously he came through in moments, but like their run game all season has been hit or miss. So,
and the other thing I think of because you brought it up was basically all the COVID stuff, and on Twitter. Some of the players have been vocal about it, and like they should be upset about it. Their season has been screwed because like the Ravens, they get pushed back because they just asked the league, and the league says yes. But if you're
for a playoff,
because you're a playoff team. But if you're Mike Tomlin, should your message to the team basically be like, yes, we've been screwed, but we got to forget that. Like, we can't fucking control any of that going on. Like, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, we could say the league's trying to screw us, but in the end, if we lose, we can't go ahead and blame it on that because the point is we lost. Like, should the message be to the team, just ignore it. Just ignore all of that. Mainly it is get ready for this game and do whatever you have to do to win the game. Like,
yeah, no, that's Tomlin's message all the time is just, we don't give a shit about the circumstances. We're just here to win 1 week at a time. Focus on that. Players are going to tweet and do whatever the hell they want on their own time, but like the message coming top down is very much, doesn't matter what happened. Like, our job is to win the game on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it is. It fucking doesn't matter. Our job is to go out there and win the game. And if we don't execute on that, then it doesn't matter what happened around that.
Yeah, this is a team, I will say my final thought with it is, will the Steelers go undefeated? I believe so. I know you mentioned, I think it was in the Discord or on one of our shows, you were like, fuck it, the Bengals will beat them in 2 weeks.
Bullshit game will happen. You know, that's the NFL is any given Sunday for any team. Yeah. Something can happen, whatever. Like, it's just something dumb will happen before the season's over, probably.
I think their last 4 are, I'm going to pull it up. I know they play I think the Bills are next. Then they have the Bengals. Then they have somebody else in the Browns is who I think. Let me pull up their schedule real quick. Come on.
Isn't it Raiders first?
It could be the Raiders. This week This week they are playing Washington. They play Washington this week. So Washington, I think it's Washington, Buffalo. Yeah, Washington, Buffalo, Bengals, Indianapolis, and then the Browns.
Yeah, so I mean they've got really good competition all the way down the stretch. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion to say they're undefeated. So no, they earned it every week.
It comes down to the Indy game. That's like, I think the Bills play well, Bills lose. But I think that Indy game, if they're gonna lose one, it'll be that Indianapolis game week 16.
There's another wild card for you.
Yeah.
If we get another sloppy snow fest of a game, what happens?
That game is in Pittsburgh.
If Connor's not available to go, what do you do? Big Ben, can he drop back, throw it still? You know, like lots of things to consider here. He's not just the Bills. Not just the Bills are a worse team than the Steelers or anything like that. A lot of stuff going on.
Good point. The other team, Dave, that I wanted to throw a mention to is basically, how the hell is Adam Gase not fired? Like,
because they want to beat the L's.
So I feel like here's the thing where the reason why I'm bringing this up for today is there's a press conference that Adam Gase had, and here's what he said, Dave. So I came here talking about Sam Darnold. I came here to help him develop his career, and we haven't been able to do that, said Gase, who is 7-20 and has presided over the NFL's worst offense for the better of the 2 seasons. His comments...
I think the Bears took over for him.
What?
The worst offense in the NFL.
Good point.
Nagy won that title for him.
His comments might seem obvious considering the team's profound struggles, but they're noteworthy because Gase always has spoken of Darnold's progression in an optimistic fashion. His assessment comes with 5 games left in the season, after which the coach will likely be fired. And I know that, like, I asked the question of how hasn't he been fired yet? And I get where you're coming from. They want to lose games. They want to be that number 1 pick. Like, the first thing I'll ask you is, do you think he makes it the whole year, or are the Jets just wait until we lock up number 1? Once we have number 1 locked up, we can fire him, because at that point, it doesn't matter how many, the rest of the games, if we win or lose.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I don't think it matters one way or the other. I mean, you can't lock up number 1 unless you get down to the point where somebody else wins another game.
Yeah,
you know, that's the problem. Do you think? Ugh, I didn't want to touch the 2-win teams.
Yeah, well,
that's a problem.
And if Jacksonville loses out, then that means the Jets can't lock up the number 1 seed until losing from now until week 16.
Yeah.
So
there's just no point. look, Adam Gase is a stooge. We all know it. He'll never have a job as a head coach ever again in the NFL. But there's no harm in letting him run this team where they're basically like half the team's hurt or gonna get COVID or whatever. Like you just got to finish out the season with whatever guys you got left. Just shrug it off. Let Frank Gore be the professional and just there's your offense. Who cares? I'm sorry. It's just no matter what they do, what will change by replacing Adam Gase other than people will be like, hey, look, now Adam Gase isn't there and they're not winning. Maybe it wasn't Adam Gase. No, it's 100% Adam Gase. But it's also like, how did this team get put together?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. My thought process is if they fired Gase now and then continued to lose games, if anyone was like, oh, it's because it's not Gase's fault, I'd be like, no, they want to fucking lose. Like, I wouldn't see the problem. Go ahead.
What's the point of firing him? What are you trying to achieve?
You're right. I guess you're like, to me, it would be just it would mainly to me show like, and maybe this is everyone knows he's going to get fired. So like, why do it now when you're just going to do it on Black Monday? But like, for me, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? We're done with this. We're going to lose games anyways, because I still think if they had an interim in there, they're still not going to win games. And it's just going to be like, screw it. We're done with this, because I feel like the one thought I have in my head, and we talk about this all the time, mainly with basketball is what we've talked about it recently, is this team damaged enough to where basically 6 more weeks is not going to do it much damage, or I'm sorry, 5 more weeks are not going to do it much damage? Or would there be a point of like, hey, you know what? We do have some good young players on this team that we do want to have the next coach develop. Let's kind of try to change the culture on the way out while losing football games. But at the same time, can you do that if you're still trying to lose football games?
Name 5 good young players on the Jets.
I mean, Sam Darnold's good.
He will be gone because they're replacing him with Trevor Lawrence.
I get that, but like...
your point exactly is name 5 young players who they want for the future to get momentum going into next season. I can't. I watch football every single week, and I can't name 5 young Jet players who would be great to have momentum built towards next season.
I mean,
and maybe this is just me being an asshole. I'm not a Jets fan. I am a national level watcher. I watch 10 games a week, whatever it is. But I can't say that I know they have draft picks. I know they've got talent on the roster, and they've had some unlucky injuries to go with that. But outside of their left tackle, who I can't even name right now.
Becton is the left tackle. He's one of them. There's a part of me that I wouldn't say he's a like young player. It's more of a rehab project. I don't even want to say rehab project. He didn't do as well as we thought he was at the first place. Perriman, when he was with the Ravens, like that's somebody who has talent that I feel like with the right coach can get the most out of him. So Becton, you have Perriman, Bryce Hall, the cornerback they got in last year's draft. I feel like that's a cornerback that they can, yet again, if you want a leader of the defense, I'm looking more offensive line front 7 situation, but like having a really good young cornerback that you can pull up is nothing bad to happen. Like they don't have a lot of them. That's 3. Like I'm just saying, like they don't have a ton of them. Like
Adam Gase doesn't touch the defensive side of the ball anyway.
No, he doesn't. You're right. It's because I'm trying to think. They don't have Bowles anymore, dude. I can't even think of their defensive coordinator. Greg Williams. That's right. They got fucking Bountygate over there. Which
Gase is a stooge. His damage is done. The team will not get worse in the next 5 weeks. They won't suffer any like PTSD type shit from losing, getting their shit knocked in every week. That's what's expected. They all know it. We all know from the outside they're going to do their best to win games, but they will come up short because it's a bad team run poorly. That's where they're at.
And you know what, Dave? I think I just answered my question. You want to know why they haven't fired Adam Gase yet? Because Greg Williams will win a game. He's done it before. I think it was with the Rams before they got McVay? It was either the Rams or the Bills, I think, where coach got fired. Fuck, it might have even been the Browns. Coach got fired, And then Greg Williams came the interim head coach, and the team won a game like almost immediately.
Feels like a Browns thing, but
and it
I don't
was
know. Somebody will
like,
tell us.
yeah, and it's just maybe that's why they haven't, because the guy they would put up is Greg Williams. What?
Offensive coordinator over there?
Dal Loggins.
Dal Loggins, former Bear.
I'll just ask this. Did we hype up Adam Gase too much after his time in Chicago? Was that more Jay Cutler than Adam Gase?
Jay Cutler deserves a whole lot of credit right now. That people should be sending him cards and apologies because Jay Cutler got
But
him
Dave, it was Adam
job.
Gase that made it was Adam Gase that made Jay Cutler so good.
Like, yeah, Cutler deserves a fucking medal. Like, that man is the best quarterback in Bears history. And he just gets shit on because he has the don't give a fuck attitude sometimes.
Smoking Jay Cutler,
he wants to win. He wants to win, but he also is not afraid to tell you what he's thinking. How he's doing.
Which, by the way, when he retired, him and his ex-wife's reality show,
yeah,
I hated Jay Cutler as a player. I loved him as a reality TV star.
Yeah.
My favorite one still is she was like, oh yeah, we're having company over, we're doing this, and he goes, why do I have to be a part of that? I didn't sign up for it. He's like, I just want to chill around. And like, they come over and he's like, hey guys, she's like, you ever gonna try to be friendly? He goes, I'm here, ain't I? I'm here. Like,
I mean, I think my favorite moment that was the like, she's getting on his back about not wanting to do anything against someone. And he's like, what do you mean? I retired. I played for 20 plus years. I earned all the money I will ever need. Like, I worked my job. This is my retirement now. I get to sit around and do nothing on a farm and enjoy peace and quiet. It's like, don't you want to do things? No. Don't you? I finished that.
I believe it's, don't you want to do anything with your life? No, I just did that.
It's just like, yeah. Oh. But no, yes, Adam Gase owes Jay Cutler. Everyone owes Jay Cutler an apology. And yeah, I mean, this, again, Adam Gase is a stooge. No one else will give him a shot to ever be a head coach again. He'll probably come back as a coordinator at some point, even though he has manned the worst offense in the NFL next to, as a former Bears offensive coordinator, now the new Bears offense being run by Matt Nagy, both of those being ranked 29 and 30th or 31st and 32nd, whatever it is. Like, it really makes you feel, like shit as a Bears fan.
Yeah.
But and it's like, we didn't even upgrade. Can't win. But
Dave, let's move on. Let's move away from the football. Let's go to a segment we love to do, and that is Wet Boys. The dampest of dudes, soggiest of shooters, moistest of the men, and sometimes the mistiest of the misses. These are our players of the game, giving loves to players who popped off yesterday in their respective games, respective sports. Usually how we do it is Dave gives a wet boy, I give a wet boy, and then the patrons at patreon.com/MVP-vids also give a wet boy as well. Today the patrons coming up short didn't have a wet boy. It's okay. Sometimes that happens. But Dave, you and I both do, and Dave, we'll start with you like we always do. Who's your wet boy December 3rd, 2020?
So I got to go with the Zags here. And what was a scary game when Suggs went down, but he did return. That was not as bad of an injury as we all had feared. We all thought it was like he's done when we were talking yesterday. But no, he is not totally done. Corey Crispert, bright spot as an upperclassman, has been an incredible shooter throughout college. He is a big, tall wing who has great shooting potential. And yeah, he's legit, and that's. When you shoot that well, and again, you watch his highlights on how he gets off his shots, it's clean, the form's good, like every box is ticked. Like, people are out there being like, is this next Duncan Robinson? Is he the guy for this year, Duncan Robinson?
Is it Duncan, or I'm thinking on the other side, like, yet again, after his rookie season, it's like basically comparing people to LeBron, but like, I go on the other side. Like, is he going to be the Tyler Hero where right now on draft boards, really good shooter who's at about 24, and then he rises up to where it's like late lottery. We're talking about Crispert.
Tyler Hero has a complete kit, and we were talking about this a little.
I'm just saying, like draft wise, is there a way for him to rise with his shooting ability up to late lottery?
If he can become the de facto scorer for this team, like, he's put up good points, but like if he can start averaging over 20 a night, which It's Gonzaga. I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance that they are not exactly like a team who's going to lowball score any given game. They've got power from a bunch of different guys between I can never say his name right, Joel.
I think it's
How do you say Joel's last name?
Ayayi, I think. Ayayi.
Yeah, I can never get his name right. And then they've got a kid off the bench who put up a ton for him too.
I like how you ask me how to say someone's name, Dave.
He's been in college for 4 years. We've talked about him. I mentioned being a second round pick, a veteran guard.
I think I mentioned him last year, and Sean corrected me. I think it's Joel Ayayi.
Yeah. So they've got a bunch of guys who are very good on that team. But if he can become like the guy who's going to put up 20 a night or close to it, like think of him as someone who is going to transition very easily to the NBA. Maybe a Cam Johnson. I think he's a little smaller than Cam Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam worked his stock all the way up into the lottery, so there's no reason why he couldn't. But I think this class is uber talented from the rookies. So freshmen, not rookies, freshmen, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about here? It's college basketball.
The rookies.
Yeah. So no, he could be Cam Johnson. Let's put it that way. If he's going to continue to put up over 20 points a game, his first 3 games this year versus Kansas, Auburn, and West Virginia, 23, 25, 19 respectively, shooting incredibly the whole way through. Yeah, he's basically like this year's newer, maybe improved Cam Johnson. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
So I'm looking right now at our personal mocks.
Yeah.
And we didn't have Tyler Hero even in the first round until I'm on my 4.0 and I don't see him either in the first round for either of us. Like, was he somebody that we didn't think about as a fucking... Yeah. So he popped up he popped up on, for me, my first one in the 5.0. So you and I. You had him at 16 at the time. I had him at 11 at the time.
Yeah,
and that was our 5th version.
A one-man army in the tourney.
Okay.
Like, if you go back and watch those games, like, it was like the whole season basically had been him being like, he's a little frail. He's a little skinny.
Different team, too, with a Kentucky Cal team and then a Gonzaga
but
team.
No, I mean, basically, it was just like he was never the guy on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to double check his stats real quick because I'm gonna be that guy.
Because like he finished 13th. The Heat took him 13th overall in the draft.
Yep. Let me just double check. Yeah, his college stat line was never impressive. 14 points, 4 boards, 2.5 assists on 46, 35, 93. It was really that free throw percentage that helped. But it was his tourney performances that is what made him special.
Okay.
Literally, starts off against Bama in the conference tourney, was amazing. Tennessee, not the best game for him, but it was still very effective. Mm-hmm. And then, NCAA tournament, he was a stud in that Houston game. That was massive. Even before, I guess, technically, he popped off Arkansas. Yeah, he was a late riser. To the first half of the season, like, shit. Until...
So then no, because like we're saying now, Kispert, he's already in mock drafts.
We're basically Hero through the first half of the season was, meh. Mm-hmm. And then he's a good shooter, but meh.
And then look at what he did is his rookie year. But my wet boy, I'm going to the Big 12, Dave. A guy that both you and I talked about before yesterday's show, Matt Coleman III, baby. Hitting the game winner against the Tar Heels. Like, I look at it and I go, all he did was score. 22 points, had no rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. But there's one thing he did well, Dave. He hit shots at a 56% clip, and he made points, and he made the biggest shot of them all. Just that driving in, jump out to the elbow extended, hit it up, little bit of a bounce, little bit of a roll, gets it in. And the Longhorns beat the Tar Heels in yesterday's game. Love to see that stuff early on with the buzzer beaters because coming this March, we're hopefully going to see a lot of it with the tourney. Hope that doesn't get canceled again. Hopefully there's vaccines and stuff by that point. But Dave, to end out the show, I'm going to skip the next one. I was going to give some thoughts on Illinois at Baylor.
I want to hear this.
Do you?
This is what I came. Yes, this is exactly.
Okay, then I won't.
I'll be honest. The second one, meh.
Okay, then we'll end on this one then.
It's early. I'm not worried.
Yeah, we'll end on this one. For me, I tweeted out like a perimeter thought, but like I've seen a lot of people upset that Illinois lost to Baylor and that we lost to Baylor 82-69. But like I'm sitting here and a day after I'm going, let's not panic. Like there is one thing I learned from yesterday's game, Dave. Baylor is going to be a scary tourney team because they play defense so goddamn well. Not even defense, team defense. To where it's like Coach Underwood after the game, they asked him about Io, and they said, well, are you concerned? He only had 18 points. And he goes, no, Io better prepare for teams to play him like that. The only good thing is, he's like, the rest of our schedule doesn't see a team that can play defense like Baylor does. Like, it was a game, I watched the whole thing, and it was just like, both teams couldn't shoot well, which early on I was like, come on, like, someone make a shot, basically. Yeah. But, like, this was one where, like, I think this shows with this Illini team how we might have been, I don't want to say overhyping them, but we're expecting everything right up front. We're expecting them to be the Illini team of 04-05 or 03-04? No, 04-05, because that was our 8th grade into our freshman year. Like, we're expecting them to be that team that went undefeated, only lost 2 games all year, especially when it counted against UNC. I'm not still mad over that. No, I'm not crying. But it was a good defensive team. Baylor played well. I feel like this is going to be a game, though, that Illinois draws on, to where it's like late in the tourney, hey, remember when we played Baylor? Like, this is that same option, where it's like, I'd rather have lost this one today if it means I'm winning the last game of the season in the championship. Ayo's going to be fine. Don't need to panic about him. Kofi's going to be fine. This team will be fine. Because guess what? Duke can't play defense like Baylor did.
We will see. I tend to agree with that, at least as far as Duke's defense is not the same level as Baylor's.
Yeah.
Something at least to take away as a positive. Io, after the first half, shot much better.
Yeah.
The rest of the team continued to struggle. I think as a team, they were shooting like 36 and like 18 for their shooting split in the first half.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely abysmal. And yeah, Io was able to bounce back a little bit in the second half, but obviously can't carry a whole team on his back too. Miller looked god awful.
I mean, he's a freshman too. Like,
it's just like you said, it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, this was a true test. This was a wake up call, reality check for them early in the season. We'll see how they react, and we'll see how they push through the adversity.
And I'll be honest, like Baylor's defense was good, but there were a lot of the turnovers early in the first. It could have been nerves too, coming into your first big game as a freshman, but like there were numerous times Baylor would turn over the ball, or Baylor would force us to turn over the ball, and I'd be like, come on, you can't. There was one where I think it was Miller was coming up from the left side, top of the key, went to like push the pass out to the top, and someone jumped it, tipped it forward, and it became a fast break the other way. And I was just like, come on, you can't be giving the opponent free baskets. I guess another positive, it was a close game all the way through until the end. Like, that is something, it was like 1 point, 2 point, neither team could get a big advantage on the other. It wasn't like, oh, we were down 10 and had to come back. So, like, that's a positive, too. It's just, don't expect this Illini team to win every game. They're not like the Flying Illini 2.0 that Dave and I got to see when we were in 8th and 9th grade, was we were youngins. And, Dave, we were going to talk about Kentucky, but, like, your answer is you're not worried about them.
Not yet. Let it play. Young team, as always. So
first time, I will say, because I fact-checked this, first time Kentucky has 2 losses in their first 3 games in the John Calipari era. The last time they did that was the year before John Calipari was their head coach.
One thing I do want to add on, though, is,
go ahead.
Man, they don't give a shit about masks. Like, Cal's mask was, like, here, and he's just screaming the whole time. And I'm like, the same thing happened in the NBA, you know? When you got a head coach who's yelling, like, they want to be heard, that's the whole point of yelling, and wearing a mask muffles that, so, like, figure something out.
Well, that's like I heard this during the Illinois-Ohio game, where the announcers were talking about Brad Underwood because they were talking about his like mask usage, because he either does one of two things. He either has the gaiter that's around the neck and goes up, and if he has to, he pulls it down and then pulls it back up. Or he has, like last night, he had the face shield. And they said with him, his thought when they talked to him pre-game was he likes the gaiter because it feels like it's more comfortable to wear it. You can pull it down, pull it back up. But he likes the face shield because he wants them to like see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like see your mouth. And I can get why you may see that. Like Coach Drew, I think, is the coach at Baylor. He had kind of like, it was weird. He had a mask, but it was like it looks see-through, so you can kind of see his mouth, or like you could see his skin and his mouth moving. So like that to me, I wondered about that mask because I'm like, can you make it like that and still have it be the point of a mask? Also because like Coach Drew got over COVID, so it's like, oh, if you had COVID, I don't know if you could still pass it on. I'm not a fucking doctor. But you want that mask to be real strong if you're someone who had it. But yeah, it's going to do it for us today. Great show, Dave, as always. We'll be back tomorrow for Football Friday, wrapping up the week, making some picks for this week, talking about some fantasy football, as it's been 2 weeks since we've been able to do a Football Friday. Don't forget, join the best community in the entire universe. That Discord channel is down below in the description, or !Discord into Twitch chat gets you that. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids. That's how you go ahead and do that. Again, link down below, or !Patreon into Twitch chat. Thank you to Pat Hill and Philly Sean, our Patreon sponsors. On Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids. And we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. That's going to do it for Dave and I. Thank you guys for everything that you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.